No. No, we're not doing that. We're not talking about that. Get that out of here. No. Literally everyone on the face of YouTube, even people who don't do Sonic stuff, have been talking about that. No. You want my thoughts on the Sonic movie? You want to see a good Sonic movie? Look up Sonic 06 cutscenes on YouTube. There's your Sonic movie. Okay? Sorry, just kind of to get that out of the way. Hello everyone, and welcome to my review of the IDW Sonic the Hedgehog 2019 annual? It's the 2019 annual, right? But I sound like an idiot right now. Yes, it is the annual release in 2019. The only reason I was tripping over that was because the series started in 2018, so I was wondering if it technically counts as that annual, but that's... let's just get into it, okay? This annual collects a series of stories written by different people, drawn by different people, featuring different characters. So without further ado, let's get into it. Our first story is titled Bonds of Friendship. It's written by Ian Flynn with art by Jennifer Hernandez. And this basically acts as the pilot for the Tangle and Whisper miniseries, which we're going to be getting sometime. There's a date, I forgot what it was though, but basically Whisper comes to Tangle's town, and what I found interesting is that she only talks in Whisper, so I was waiting for there to be a line where someone was like, hey wait, I can't hear what you're saying, but no, people can always hear her, which is like, I'll be having just a conversation with someone at normal volume, and I'll miss what they said, so I don't know how anyone understands her, but we're gonna forget about that for a second. And we're introduced to Tangle's friend, Jewel the Beetle. She's cool, I guess. I'm sure she'll be important in the miniseries as well. I like the continuity that the Bug Mobians, which is what I'm going to call them until they get another name, that they have, that they're always just smaller. And I think that's fun. And then my favorite characters, the Babylon Rogues, show up and they attack the jewel shop that Jewel runs. It's not called a jewel shop, but I don't know what it's called. The point is, they steal all the jewels, and they accidentally kidnap Jewel, because when she's in her, cocoon form, she looks like a jewel. So, Storm is like, oh, I'm gonna take Jewel. So, they get taken. So, Tangle and Whisper go to rescue her. And hijinks ensue. I don't look... It's a fine story. And then they fight, and then Jet is Jet, because of course... The most interesting part of the story is when Jewel falls out of the ship. Whisper, and this is the only time she raises her voice at all. You'll notice that the bubble is not whispery, it's actually, just normal text. She shouts, "Not again," as Jewel is falling. So I'm looking forward to this miniseries to find out more about Whisper. As I said, out of all the things that the IDW series has been doing that are new and original, she's definitely something I want to see more of. So I guess her backstory either involves someone she knows dying, or literally falling from a high place, presumably also to their death. I don't know. They save Jewel, and Tangle leaves, and they're like, yay, and Whisper is like, what are friends for, I guess. Yeah, it's weird, because we saw Whisper was very, didn't really like other people before, so it's weird to see her being so chummy with people now, but, I mean, that's character progression for you, I guess, but, overall, this one was good. Next one we have is, called Jet Set Tornado. You see what they did there? Referencing their dead franchise? Yeah, I see it. I'm gonna get a bunch of Jet Set Radio fans pissed at me for that. This is written by Caleb Goldner with art by Leonardo Ito. I think it's Ito. Ito, maybe? I don't know. Sorry, Leo. You were never my favorite turtle. No, this is basically Sonic's flying the plane, which I thought was interesting, because, it is his plane. Well, maybe that one. The original one was his plane. I think this one might actually tells us. The point is, he knows how to fly planes, so it's interesting to see him flying the plane. and not much happens. He accidentally breaks something, and the bird comes and takes the resistance supplies. A robot bird, obviously not a real bird, and it lands in some stuff, and it was a fine story. Not much to talk about. The one thing I will say is interesting is Sonic goes, "Well, I'm not good at landings," which the only thing I could think of was SA1 with Tails is like, "There's no landing gear on this plane," or in this mode, whatever. So that was interesting. It's a fine story, not the best in this annual in my opinion, but it's fine. The next one we have, surprising absolutely no one, is going to be my favorite. It's titled Victory Garden, written by Evan Stanley and Gigi Dutrix. This is the first time I've ever said it aloud. With art by Evan Stanley. These two people, you should know them because you should be reading both of their webcomics. Evan Stanley runs Ghost of the Future, which is my favorite Sonic fan comic. And Gigi Dutrix, again, sorry, I haven't said this a lot before, runs The Murder of Me, which is also a really good run. I'm a bit behind on both of them, but they're both incredibly good, so I would recommend checking them out. You can find them by just looking up Ghost of the Future or Murder of Me on, like, DeviantArt or something. So, basically the premise of this story is Blaze is out looking for Silver, because Silver is not in the base. And we find out Silver's been running this garden. But you can't get anything to grow because he doesn't know how to garden, basically. And I do like how he explains that, that the world is nothing like the world he came from. So I assume we're going off of his rival's backstory with the Ifrit, which is fine. It's basically a carbon copy of his 06 backstory, so that's whatever. So that's cool. And it's just a nice story, Blaze explains to him that, like, the soil needs to be... I can't remember exactly how she says it. It's a really cool panel of her, like, with a tornado of, like, flame. And she fixes the soil so that way they can grow stuff now. And it's cool, and it's drawn very well. And, I really like seeing these two interact. We haven't seen enough of that in terms of, like, the canon. Obviously, plenty of fans do great stuff with it. As I said, Ghost of the Future does their relationship very well. But in the games, there was a lot of potential in 06, but other games have kind of failed to seize that potential. So I'm glad that that they're doing this, and I hope we see them interact more in the future because it's a really nice dynamic. That's pretty much all I have to say about that one. So we're gonna move on to Curse the Pyramid, written by Cavan Scott, with art by Diana Skelly. And this one immediately was like, grrr, because it says they're in the Dusty Desert. Here's what's wrong with this. Dusty Desert was in 06, which took place in the human world, and they've established this is not the human world. So, and I'm fully aware it could be a different Dusty Desert. All deserts are, by definition, dusty. Just to use that exact name? Really? I don't know. It's a nitpick. I know it's a nitpick, but I don't know. So, they're like, oh, this is where Eggman's secret treasure... Finally, I found Eggman's secret treasure! Is basically. So, they get into the pyramid, and they meet up with Rouge. And Rouge talks to them, rouges it up. And then they wake up the Egg Golem. Again, that's in the human world, and it wasn't even made by Dr. Eggman. I'm pretty sure it was made by the Nocturnus, but I guess that's just a fan theory, so whatever. But I guess you could say that maybe he took the Egg Golem's design and he made a copy of it. You could say that, I guess, kind of like how GUN copied Dr. Eggman's tech. Or, well, I guess they would have similar tech anyway, because... Anyway, you know what I mean. The point is, I could believe he, reverse engineered the Egg Golem, maybe. And that's why he has one. So, we find out Rouge pulls, some scheme where she wraps herself in bandages and says she was cursed to scare away Rough and Tumble. And then we find out that she was actually defending this group of, people who had taken refuge in the pyramid. which is nice. It's nice to see Rouge be like a good person, because a lot of times people fall into the trap of writing her as very one-dimensional or just a straight-up villain. Like, pre-Genesis Rouge, back in the Archie comics, was very much an antagonist, which I didn't mind. Pre-Genesis Archie Sonic is my favorite interpretation of Sonic, so, whatever. But we saw in, like, Shadowfall and Shattered and all of those, we saw a bit more heroic side of her, so I do like to see that, especially since we've seen in the games that she is capable of that. So I think seeing her just help out the little guy, and yeah, she did get something for it. She came there looking for the treasure as well, so she did get something out of helping them, but I like to believe she just did it from the goodness of her heart. The last one we have is called Sonic Fan Club. It's written by James Kochalka. I'm butchering these names, I'm sorry. It's written by James Kochalka. I assume that's how you say it, with art by Jonathan Gray. And this one was just, it's a group of kids with their Sonic fan club, and they're trying to decide, like, who will be club president. And then they come across a badnik, and then Tangle tries to beat it, but then Sonic runs in so fast that you don't even see him, and he beats it. And it's whatever. It's a nice, innocent story. It felt very much like old school, like Sonic Archives level of old school Archie stuff. Very much just like pure innocent, following these like who gives a crap characters. Like, so I thought that was cool. It wasn't my favorite story, but it was fine. It was harmless. And that wraps up the annual. Overall, I liked it. It was good. Not much more to say. I liked the focus on the various other characters. I will say that the stories weren't like magnificent by any stretch of the imagination. I thought the Sonic and Tails one felt a bit weak to me. I don't know, but overall it was good for first year. If we were to see this as like a celebration of the first year of IDW Sonic, I think it works good. I think it's good. So yeah, there's that. I would recommend, if you thought this sounded good, to go pick it up. Sorry this is gonna be a bit late, and there hasn't been much on this channel at all lately. I've just been super busy, little life and stuff. But in the coming months, I'm hoping to pick up with uploads a bit more. That Sonic Theory's coming. I promise it's coming. It's just coming slower than I expected. So, but it's coming. It's coming. It'll be out. We'll see. Don't hold your breath, but it's not going to be... I'm hoping to have it done by... I'm not going to give a date, because then people will be like, you didn't reach the date, so it's soon-ish. Just go with that. And I got some other stuff coming. I've got something that I think people will like, hopefully, that's in the works as well. That's I don't think anyone else has done. But yeah, so besides that, thank you for watching. If you liked what you see, be sure to leave a like, consider subscribing, help grow the channel. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.